Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about Python programming. In this particular topic, we are going to discuss variables and assignment statement. These topics we are going to discuss today. So basically, what is meant by values and their types? So what is a value is the basic thing in a program, nothing but the value. Is it like a letter or a number? It is we are going to call as a value. So for example, 1, 2 or hello world, whatever may you, these are called as the values. So if you are not sure about what type of the value has, the Python interpreter will tell us what is the type of that particular value. How that we can know is by using a command called as the type command. So the type is a method. Type is a method. By using this particular type method, we can able to know what is the type of that particular. For example, hello world is string type. So if you use the type command, then it automatically inform you what is its type. That is telling us a string. And now if you give type of 17, it will give you whether it is a integer. So like this, the type function will define you what is the type of the given value. So let us practice that particular command in the compiler. So see this. So now I am typing so here I am typing our command. For example, if you give type of previously I have given here type of hello I have given, it is specified as class str. A given type of 17, it is given as int. For example, if you also type type of 32.4, so press enter, it is telling it as a float. And if you specify type of, for example, in double quotes also, if you give, if it is telling it is a string, so it is so like this we can know the type of the value by using the a function called a built-in function called as the type of. So let us discuss the next topic. So a variable is a name that what is a variable is a name that refers to the value. So we cannot operate with the values always, so we have to store a value in a particular thing called as the variable. So for example, here we assigned a message is equal to some string and n is equal to 70, like that. So whatever the values are having, the values can be stored into the variables, and variables can be used in the programs to build the program. So and also the type function we can also apply on these variables also. So like this we can use the type function over the variables also. So let us practice that command. For example, here we are storing msg is equal to hello, and after that I have n is equal to 17, and now here I am using a simple command called as a type of msg. So it is showing it is a string. Now if I give type of n, it is giving me as a integer. So like this, by using the type function on variables, we can also find out what is the particular type of the particular variable also. This is how we can use them. And let us see the next topic. So what is the next topic is variable names and keywords. So basically variable names are arbitrary, so they are very long. So basically here we can use for the variables we can use letters and we can use numbers, or we can also, but compulsory it is they have to begin with a letter. So here we can use uppercase letters, and also we can also use lowercase letters. So underscore is allowed. Other than this, nothing is allowed in the variables. Any other special character is not. For example, we can write an example variable like my underscore name or airspeed underscore of unladen. So like this, we can use underscore as part of the variable name. So let us take some of the examples here. Here I have a variable called as 76 trobans is equal to big parrot, but so like this, but the compiler giving me it is a syntax error. Why I will tell later. So again I given more @ is equal to some numerical value. It is telling it is also syntax error. And again I have said class is equal to advanced theoretical geomorphy. So it is also why these three variables are declared as invalid variables is the first one is become invalid due to the reason because of it is beginning with a number. It is beginning with a number. So not beginning with a letter, sorry, it is beginning with a number. So it is beginning with a number, that's why it is a error. So it is beginning with a number, that's why it is an error. It is an error. And next one is more @. So @ character is illegal character. It is not allowed in the Python programming language. And after that, class is why it is. It is a Python built-in keyword. We cannot use a variable class. So that's why they have become invalid. So this is the how we can use the variables in the Python programming language. So next topic is keywords. So basically in the Python programming language there are 35 keywords are there. Basically there are 35 keywords are there. So keywords are like this. So these are all the keywords which are used in Java. Sorry, Python programming language. So and also we have some of the special keywords like true, false. So they basically starts with the capital letter, starting with the capital letter. So these particular are also part of the Python programming language. So next topic is operators and operands. So basically so operators nothing but stores the value. Operators will perform operations on the operands. So operands are your variables and operators are like your addition, subtraction, multiplication. So in a Python programming language we can perform the operations like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponential, like that we can perform different operations which are allowed. But basically here the star the symbol which is used for the purpose of exponential purpose. So we can, by using these operators we can form the expressions like 20 plus 32, hour minus 1, hour into, so like that we can form so here 5 into 2 is exponential, so 5 for the 2, it is around 25, like that we can use the exponential. So what is an expression? Expression is nothing but the combination of values. We already know that. So expression is a combination of values, variables and operators. If you write an expression, is a part of a value and it contains variable and also it contains the operators. So here express 17 is nothing but the expression. Here x and 17 are the variable, x is a variable and plus is the operator and 17 is the value. So by combining these all things we can perform an expression. So next topic is interactive mode and script mode. So what is meant by interactive mode and what is meant by script mode, I will show with a very good example. Basically whatever the previously we were typing the commands, it is called as the interactive mode. That is, we are typing one command and automatically compiler is executing that. But if you put all your statements in one area and if you compile, that is called as the script mode. That is called as a script mode. For example, here I have a statement miles is equal to 26.2 and I have miles into 1.61. So after that, so like this interactively and performing operation, this is called an interactive mode. Rather than this, if you want to script mode, what you need to do is store your things in a file. Then if you execute, for example, I have a set of statement print 1 x is equal to 2 print x, and if you execute the script, then automatically it will use output as the 1 comma 1 and 2. So this is called as the script mode and interactive mode. So let us see how the interactive mode, what is interactive mode and what is script mode. Now we type these commands. So now I have a variable mi is equal to 3 and after that I assigned mi into to the interpreter, so it is showing me 6. So it is a mode called as interactive mode. So what we can do is, now we put these three statements in the directly in a script and we again automatically execute. Now see, mi is equal to 3 and after that I have the statement mi into 2 and after that what we can do is mi So we create another variable m1 is equal to uh, here 1 minute. Here we can do mi is equal to mi into 2 and m1 is equal to my and print. So like this, a set of statements can be, we can print now mi value, and after that we can print m1. So like this we can put set of values. Now to execute, we already I told that press shift enter. So it is going to execute and it is showing some error. So m1 is showing error. M1 is not defined. So why, what is this? M1 is not defined. We'll see. So here I did this find m1 is equal to my. Now if I press shift enter, so it is executed and giving me the output 6. So now this is called as the script mode. So writing a set of statement, executing all of them once is called as the script mode. So I think you understand what is meant by script mode, I think. So write this all the statements once and execute. So this is called as the script mode. Rather than having the one command, we can execute multiple statements. So let us discuss the next topic. So that is about interactive mode and script mode. Next topic is order of operations. So the expression will contain our values and variables and operators, and how this particular operators and is going to execute it is called as the order of operations. For example, if you have a statement like a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 5 and c is equal to 6, d is equal to 3, like that, then can you predict the output of this particular statement? B minus a into c by divided by d plus 10. So what is your answer? So let us think sometime. So the answer is, can you guess? Can you guess what is the answer is? The answer is 13. How the answer is 13 is, what happened is, so among these all operators, which one is having highest priority? Division. So first what will happen? 6 by 3. So 6 by 3 is around 2. So after that, what is going to happen? Multiplication. What is the a value? A value is 1, and with the operation 1 into 2. So the resultant of a, this one is 2. Now b minus a. The value of 5 b is 5. So 5 minus 2, 3. So after that addition is going to happen 3 plus 10, 13. So this is how the expression. So this is called as order of operations. So the rules of precedence. So highest precedence is having for parenthesis, and after that exponent, the highest priority. Next after that, highest priority is given for multiplication and division, and then after that the highest precedence is given for addition and subtraction. If they have the same precedence, the statement will execute from left to right. The statement will execute from the left to right. So this is how the expressions will be evaluated based upon the order of evaluation. So next topic is string operations. So what is the string operations is here is, we can simply do, for example, we can use the plus symbol for the purpose of concatenation. We can use the plus symbol for example, if you have hello plus world, it will give us hello world. And if you have a variables like a is equal to welcome, so let us practice, then you can understand how this particular statements will go into work out. Now see here, I have the statement hello, and I am going with world, hello world, and if I press enter, it is giving me hello. So plus is used as a concatenation. If I have a is equal to well and b is equal to come to, and c is equal to Python. So if I type the statement d is equal to a plus b plus c, so now if I go with the print of d, it is giving me welcome to Python. So this is how we can use the plus operator for the purpose of concatenating the two strings. So like this we can also have the other strings. So that is, we can also use multiplication. What is this multiplication is, for example, now I have simply what I can do is, we have a string hi. Now if we do multiply with 3, so it will give me hi hi hi. So this is how we can use the star operator after the specify that your string will be automatically repeated. For example, if I have a is equal to hello, if I have the string a is equal to hello, now if I go with b is equal to a into 2, and if I print b, so then automatically it is going to print hello hello. So now, so this is how we can use the plus operator for concatenation, star for the repetition of the string. If you want to clear the screen, I will show you one simple command. If you use simple command import to OS, and after that what we can do is, we can use the command os dot system of CLS. So then automatically the screen will be cleared. So this is the basic command what you can use for the purpose of clearing the screen in the interpreter. So next topics we are going to discuss is comments. So how we can place the comments in your thing is, in C programming you use a slash star, but in Java we use double slash, but here we use the symbol called hash is for the purpose of comments. If you want to put the comments, we can use the comments. For example, see this. For example, here we have a is equal to 10, and we put a hash, variable, so it will not take it as a part of the, for example, if I just print a, it is printing. So like this, the hash we can use the purpose of mentioning the comments. So next topic is functions. So what is meant by function, you already know in your C programming language. And what is meant by function is, for example, see here I have statement 1, statement 2, and I have statement 3, 4, 5, 6, and again after statement 7 I need statement 3. And so in normal conventional previous without functions, we need to repeat this code. If the functions are available, what we can do is, whatever the code which need to be executed multiple number of times, we put in the function, and wherever you require that, we can remove that particular statement from our program, and wherever you require that particular thing, we can place it. So that is the advantage of the function. So program without function will be look like this, and with function the number of statements will be there. So code length will be automatically reduced by the help of the function. Whenever we require a particular set of statements executed, we just call that particular function. It will reduce the duplicate code, it will improve the reuse of code and remaining. So this is the advantage of the functions. So code complexity is also will be reduced. So how to use functions? So basically, so we have statement 3, statement 4, and statement 5, like this set of statements. So wherever in the program we require that particular these function statements, so simply call that particular function, then that automatically that statements will be executed. So this is the how we can use the functions. So basically in a Python programming language, functions are basically classified into two categories. They are built-in functions, user-defined functions. So what is my built-in functions? See, the functions which are already available in the Python software, they are called as built-in functions. So if you are creating a function, they are called as the user-defined functions. So basically this many number of built-in functions which are already available in the Python programming language. According to a purpose, we can use these functions. So how we can use the different functions? So I will show you by executing each and every one by one, then you can understand. So for example, if you want to use the mathematical function, simply you can import a package called as import math. For example, here I am performing some simple operation, that is I am mentioning the a thing called as some SI is equal to 3, and after that I am assigning some PA is equal to 4. Now I am calculating ratio is equal to SI by PA. So it is ratio will be 10. Now if I want to calculate the mathematical functions, DE is equal to 10 into, so math dot log. So if you want to calculate the log value with base, so 10, we can specify like this. So if I print D, so that it will be printed. So this is how I can use the mathematical function. So like this, we can also, for example, we have radian, RAD is equal to 0.7, some value is there. So we can calculate height is equal to math dot sine of radians. So like this we can math dot sine of rad, which will give me the height. So now I can print that height. So height will be printed. So this is how we can use the mathematical functions. So these functions are called as the built-in functions. So next topic is user defined functions. So how we can create user defined functions? So is we need to start the function name with a keyword called as def. After that we need to put we can specify the argument, then we need to put colon. After that you can specify your statements. So now we can try to do one simple function here. For example, our function has started with def. Our function name is f1. So I don't have any arguments, put colon and press enter. So it is puts 3 dots. So this is how we can need to. So for example, here I going to print function. So it is showing an error. So the problem is here we need to specify some empty spaces after these 3 dots. Then you need to specify your statements. So this is my function. Now what you can do is press enter. If you want to come out of so this is your function, then simply enter the empty line, then automatically function will be called. Now if you want to execute that function, you can simply call f1 of the function will be executed. So this is how the functions will be executed in the Python program. I will write again once. So again, what you can, to clear the screen, we can use this command OS system dot. Once you imported that particular OS, then you know to use again import. So now it is clear. So how we need to create a function is def. After that, give the space and specify the function name and put colon. After that, press enter. It is asking. Now we need to give the at least 4 empty spaces. Now from the function name, now you can type here the statement x is equal to 5. And after that we need to specify print x. Now if you want to close the function, just press enter. If you need to enter the empty line. Now function is perfectly closed. Now we can simply call f2 off, so that it will be executed. Now if you want to create a function with the parameters, then how we can create is def f3 off. Here it is taking some parameter pair, then put thing, then we can simply print that particular pair and put here and press it. So function is created. Now I am passing f3 of high. Now automatically F3 function is called and the parameter high is passed to the pair and that will be printed. So we can also perform some simple calculation. Def sum of a comma b, put semicolon, and here write the statement d is equal to a plus b. Then we need the statement print d, then put enter. So now simply call that function sum of 2 comma 3, so it is printing the value 5. So this is how we can use this particular functions. So I think you understand how functions are user defined functions which are created in the Python programming language. So the next topic is here is conversion of the strings. For example, here we have a thing. So in the Python script we are having a is equal to 10. So we are storing the 10 numerical value as string. It is assigned a. And now if you want to convert it into a numerical value, just go with int. So b is equal to int of a. Then now we need to print. Now we can do one thing. Type of a. So it is printing, it is a string. Now what is the type of b? Type of b is integer. So this is how we can convert a integer to the float. For example, see here I have we need to convert it integer to the float. Now what we can do is float of b. So c is equal to float of b. Now automatically it is going to be done. Now we can check the type of C. It is telling that it's it's given as a capital letter, that's why the error type C. Now it is giving me type C is a float. So like this we can convert. Now I have a B is equal to 10 point, some D is equal to 10.58. Like this I have a one value. If you want to convert into string, what you can do is S is equal to str of D. So automatically converted. Now we can check the type of S with the command type of S. Now it is automatically giving us string. So by this we have completed these all the topics. How to create a variable in the Python, how to convert, so type conversions, user defined function, built-in functions, and we also completed how to write the comments, string operations, and after that we precedence order of operation, these topics, what is expression, what is statements, what is keywords, how to define a variable name, which are valid. So these are all the things we have discussed today in the class. So thank you very much. So in the next class we will discuss remaining topics.